Welcome to the Heavyweight Podcast.
The message behind saying the title The Heavyweight Podcast is to be able to say that we can weigh in on some heavy shit. You know, what we're talking about is important from every aspect of it. It's a heavy weight. It's not just about physical weight, but the weight of things that can weigh our minds. So I think it's dope that we can have this conversation.
She feels good too. On the inside and outside. Only if the love.
What's up, everybody? This is Des the Diva. We're not doing this with Maurice today. No. Back again for another heavyweight episode.
And that's the way I like it.
I'm here today with two of my three favorite guys.
Oh, so we're not just them niggas.
You
this
not
week.
niggas today, you know?
No.
How are your weeks?
Everything been okay. Shout out K-Dot. I'm good. It's your boy Molito. I'm good. Good week. Nothing. Coming off that anniversary.
Okay.
A lot of clapping going on.
Oh my God.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, my nigga. It's enough. We got it. We understand. Okay. Oh my God. Kevin, your week?
Sometimes you got to alternate. You can't give them. You got to long, slow, intermediate, speed it up, slow it down,
My week
wind
was
it.
good. Went to Grand
Sean
Canyon,
LaPaul.
Grand Canyon and shit.
Okay.
This nigga, look at this nigga being a good dad.
How'd you like that?
The wolf and shit. The wolf out, as they call
Oh,
it.
you
Oh, the
went to
wolf
the-
is over there by the canyon?
The wolf out.
Wait, so you went to the one out there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh damn!
Y'all don't want
I thought you was going when you said that shit. I thought you was going like Anaheim.
My inner child want to go where y'all be
Nah,
going.
it's spring break. It was spring break here.
Oh.
It wasn't spring break there. So
Oh, okay.
you go where there's no lines at.
Okay.
And that's the motherfucking fact, Jay.
Okay. I need to be adopted.
Right. I'm like, I want to go where y'all go.
Then we can't afford it at that point. It just got too expensive.
I got this coworker. Shout out to Roy, and I always say, man, because he took his kids to. I think last year he took them to Disney World,
Mm.
Mm.
and then he always doing something. I said, man, how much? Just adopt me. I come with healthcare.
He got a lot of kids.
He got 3.
That's a lot.
No,
to
one
me.
grown. She grown. She 18 now.
That's
19.
a lot.
She's 19.
That's still his
I
baby.
think the baby is I think his baby is 9. But you're a good dad.
Yeah, I was like, that's
You're a good
18
dad.
still. You got to buy a plane ticket.
Oh no! 2 years ago he bought her a horse.
He
Oh,
did.
he got
The
money.
9-year-old,
No.
the
Money.
18-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he bought her a car.
I see. Yeah, he could adopt.
Yeah.
could
He got-
adopt.
he got the
money. He
space.
got the money.
I mean, he always at work.
Is he Hispanic? Is he Hispanic?
No, he black.
He black. Oh, I'm trying to find me a Hispanic family to get on so they can buy me a king say dress.
That's not okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to get in. Today's questions are cultivated by questions that I have had women ask me in my inbox while we don't necessarily talk about, which I think some of them we have. But I pulled them all together. So
I'm not
today
answering no question from no woman. That ain't my wife.
Today, we might just be having a little bit of an uncomfortable conversation. Talk about marriage and things of that nature.
Don't make me that make me
Ain't
uncomfortable.
nothing uncomfortable. Ain't nothing uncomfortable.
Because if I don't like what we talk about, nigga, I just walk away.
I ain't seen you walk away yet.
Because I ain't been uncomfortable.
Okay, let's go.
Y'all see how this work?
Let's go.
You putting Kevin to sleep.
What? Wake your ass up. You sleep?
No, I'll never sleep.
Thank you. Shut your ass.
Always
What's your
find
definition
it.
of traditional marriage?
Yeah,
Are you asking me?
that's
You
a
first, nigga, because you always got something to say.
Because you looked at me when you said that.
Yep. go
Traditional
ahead.
marriage?
Talking to you. Yeah.
No, you talking about marriage in general,
Yes.
Or-
just generally
or
speaking.
what traditional marriage look like today?
No, in general, like based off what you think it's supposed to
To
be.
me, a traditional marriage is where a man goes out there and provides the milk and honey, bread and butter, and supports financially, while the wife is at home with the children, nurturing, taking care of the home, and being provided for.
Kevin.
Now that doesn't also but the father is still a father. He's still involved and active and involved.
True.
Because the marriage part only deals with the husband and wife. You're not a father in your marriage vows. You're a husband. So that's a whole different role. So
that's true. I think I saw someone say that on the internet the other day. But in reference to that, he also referenced that the marriage is marriage is also separate because you're gonna have to provide regardless because you wasn't married with kids, you still had to take your ass to work and go do what you had to do.
I mean, do you?
But the level, yeah, you do. But the level of provision is different.
Queen.
Oh my God, what's your answer, Kevin? So goddamn ignorant.
For traditional, there's only pretty much the traditional answer, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's what that is.
That's true. I mean, that's the traditional. I feel like in today's world, it may look a little different.
It looks completely different. These niggas is not paying all the bills.
It can't be if that's
but
not
then
traditional,
again, see, you can't say that because not everyone is afforded a career or a job to pay all the bills.
But when you go traditional, I feel like traditional is in a sense of that's the way it.
Yeah, that's the way it's set up.
You don't have multiple traditionals. You have the traditional way.
Yeah.
Now, do I live by that? No. That's a different question, though.
That is a different question. And to your point, everyone isn't able to do so. And I definitely agree with you on that. And I don't
Well, here's the thing.
We live in California.
There's more people, even right.
Period.
But even in California, there's men that are able to provide that life, but that would just lower your standard of living. All these trips and all that shit. No,
Are you shooting at me, nigga?
No, nigga. No, I'm just saying, like, you have to understand, like, for instance, I feel like a man making 60 to 80,000 could provide for a family. Now, that's not going to look like the same provision a man making 100,000 can. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna. You might be in a 2-bedroom apartment, living paycheck to paycheck, eating bare minimum, whatever. But he can still foot that bill for everybody. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily a comfortable life. So the level of income doesn't necessarily equate that he can't do it. It's just he may not be able to meet the standard the woman has set for herself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's where it differs.
Yeah, while writing these questions, I literally, because it's on the internet so much about like 50-50 and things of that nature, I was
nothing in life is 50-50.
Mad at niggas until I started to realize that this is a double standard in two different ways, but we'll get there. So when do you think that the traditional well, you know what, you kind of just answered the question. I was gonna say, when did you think the traditional marriage stopped being so traditional?
With the introduction of the welfare system.
I agree.
We ain't gotta agree. That's facts.
No, I still fucking agree, nigga. Oh. See,
that's in one household though. That's more.
What you mean?
In a demographic of
households. I see what you mean. Yeah,
but I think the majority.
The economy has a lot to do with it. Yeah, absolutely. Because to your point, not everyone has that lifestyle to where they can afford. But in my opinion,
can I just say this? So, as someone who it's ghetto.
What?
It's ghetto being the provider.
Elaborate.
It's ghetto.
What you mean?
Sometimes you want to take days off.
You can't.
I mean, you can, but somebody ain't gonna get paid. Somebody's standard gonna be lower for a while.
No, from a day off, you got PTO.
I'm just playing.
Get your ass out of here.
I don't.
You got PTO, nigga.
I'm just talking shit.
In a lot of cases that I see, a lot of times this could just be the women I know. I mostly see women that are the providers. And
I'm sure there's a lot of women out there that are.
So when I heard you say that you provide for your house like months back, I was in fucking shock. I was in here like, nigga, where the fuck you work at? What the hell you mean? Because I don't see that often. I most of the time see women who are providers, and I feel like the way that it's presented is different. When a man provides, it's like, this is your job, this is what you're supposed to be doing. When a woman provides, we're supposed to be providing, riding, dying, fucking, sucking, cleaning, cooking.
Now hold on now.
And
now hold on, Kevin.
Perceive it.
Hold on, Kevin. That list, some of those things on the list ain't about a providership. Some of them, you went into marriage. Some of that was marriage responsibility. That wasn't provider responsibility.
Right.
And so as a man, as a man
talk your shit.
who is a provider, I have to provide and still do all the fucking well, not sucking, but
the
licking,
balcony,
all that right. I got to be a good dad. I got to show up at practice. I got to do the date nights. I got to wine. I got to dine. I got to still be in tune with her. I got to understand her habits and her patterns and pick up on her moods and situations.
So
all while having the stress of making sure everything's covered financially, making sure there's food in the house, making sure the lights are on, making sure they can take hot showers, making sure the cars are running, making sure the dog is fed. Because shit, I'm feeding the damn dog too.
So I don't know if you heard me a couple minutes ago when I said, when I wrote these questions, I realized that there was a real double standard there. I actually agree with you. I don't think we think about those things.
Well, of course not, because most of the internet is women driven, and a lot of this, they gonna hate me for this shit. I don't care. A lot of this shit is just unhappy women online that's made terrible decisions. So then they generalize all men based off the men they experience.
They gonna hate me too, because I agree.
That's all that shit is.
I agree. You know why? Because I used to be one, and when I lived in that space, I was like, these niggas is fuck these niggas. They dumb. They whatever. These niggas. But then I started to realize, like, no, we're not nurturing each other. Like,
no.
I ain't nurturing this nigga, and this nigga ain't nurturing me. We're not nurturing each other. We're not cultivating something that can last because we're too busy focusing on what the other one isn't doing and not, hey, how can I contribute to this better? So I think I agree with you.
Kevin?
What you think? Because we done had a whole conversation.
It's what's the word? What's the shit we always say? We always say it, and I'm
Rose for holes?
No, it's based off of whoever like your household, I guess. You know what I mean?
Oh, the dynamic, family dynamic. Elaborate.
No, it's just like however it works in your house.
What works for you? What works for you? Yeah.
Because it's like
you talking about financially?
Yeah, anything. Yeah, however you run your house. Because I mean, if I wanted my wife not to work, cool. But I'm like, that's not gonna be fun. Like, fuck no. We made that decision. We had that conversation. It's like, you could stop, but then some of this shit's gonna change.
But that'll go back to the part I was telling Des earlier. Like, it's possible, but some shit you're used to not gonna be possible.
Yeah,
and now a lot of women's response to that would be like, well, she should just get a man that can still maintain her, or he needs to upgrade himself. Listen, right?
And if I told these bitches how much I'm making, they'll go, oh, what the fuck? And I'll be like, exactly. It costs like that in life. I think a lot of people are kids and don't want to grow the fuck up and be like, blame it on someone else. Blame it on this. It's like, nigga, grow up. Like,
and people don't understand the better you do and the better situation you put yourself in, the more this shit costs to maintain.
Yes, absolutely.
And you know what's dope? Here's the dope thing. With us both having our careers, like one does good, the other does good. Like no one's trying to ride off of anybody. We both want to excel where we're at. So it's dope because we both get those advances of things and get to celebrate each other in that. Because it's not like she just working at, well, I'm never going to knock a job. Whatever it's at is the job. But she's like striving to do better.
Hold on, nigga.
You know
did you want to knock the job? Because
no, not her job.
Not her job. You can say it's not like she has like a quote unquote like a mediocre job.
There's some people out there like, I'm working too. It's like,
using your
shut the fuck up.
Using your J. Cole bag, mopping up floors at Wendy's. Okay,
I had to
okay,
tone it back.
Okay,
but so it's like you get different experiences out of however your dynamic is set up. So like that's fun. Like she just got promoted or raised or whatever.
Let me get $20.
Yeah, girl.
No. Just told you we wolfed out. So, but like that type of stuff is fun. So it's like, and it's all towards the house.
Yeah,
Like everything's to the house. So it's like,
everything's one bucket.
yeah,
And see that's the way my house was. But I think my wife she hasn't worked in 5 years.
yeah, that's nice.
Right. And again,
oh, you a better man than me though. I'm gonna take your phrase. Cause we even discussed this. We talked the dollar amount, and then like I'm just sitting there and I'm like, but then we could do more.
that's true. But even when she was working, it was we had one bank account. There was no my money, your money. It's our money. We're building a life together.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, we've had conversations and we were on the same page of what our goals were, and we did have, boundaries in place. Like, hey, if you can buy what you want to buy, but at this limit, over this dollar amount, we need to talk about it. So if you spend more than this, we're gonna talk about it, and we set that number and say, hey, I want to get this. It costs this much. Okay, because what you don't want to happen is you assume you got this much, but then you go drop a bag while she dropping the bag.
Took some learning.
And nobody communicating that we both dropping the bag at the same time.
Took some learning.
So now you dropping 2 bags at once. So like we had all those things in place before she stopped working. And even now, like my wife hasn't worked, I want to say about 5 years. She still has access to all the money. It's not my money, it's our money. She still has access to all the accounts. And to take it even further, when she does do her side jobs, when she does her makeup, when she does her shirts, that's her money. I don't include that in house money. Now, there has been times where I'm like, she's gotten me stuff and I appreciate it with what she's made, but that's not part of the family budget. You know what I'm saying? And would it be, to Kevin's point, would it be easier if she worked? Hell yeah. Because first of all, I
Not
get
necessarily.
well, hold on. Well,
Not necessarily. I'll explain later.
Childcare.
Hey, that's what you don't have. Then
yeah,
that shit costs too much.
Right. But sometimes I'm like, man, if she was working, I can go get my truck. Be sitting on 24s.
Oh my God, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? It would benefit me, right? And it would benefit me, but I also look at it as that it would be a detriment to my daughter.
Well, you pick up a different role.
What's that?
At that point.
What's that?
If she's working.
Oh, I'm still working.
You're gonna do childcare. Well, no, I'm still working too. But when she's not, or when she's working and I'm not,
you with the kids. Yeah.
Doing all of that. So it's like,
well, yeah. But see, Cam, I did that before.
I know, I'm saying it's just,
and honestly,
you get a trade-off on it.
It's a trade-off, but honestly, now my child's at the point where it don't take much to watch her.
You listen.
It don't take much.
Some days.
It don't take much.
Some days, and then there's some days where you're just sitting there and, Daddy, huh? Daddy, Daddy. You're like, God, what?
The worst part about my child is her schedule. She booked and busy.
Yeah, she busy.
She's busy
all the time. So that's the worst part.
It's worth it though. She gonna be an Olympian.
Because normally, we drop her off. She there wherever we take her. She there for a couple hours. I can go get me some pho, get me a steak dinner, set me a nice, and then go back. Oh, hey, you want some Chick-fil-A?
No.
See what I'm saying?
Why you do her like that?
We do her like that every Friday night.
It's fair.
But yeah, but again, back to the original point, it like that whole providership, it can't be maintained at different income levels. It's just the level of which is being provided. It's going to be different based off the income level. And a lot of people out here, they want champagne lifestyles off of beer money, and they can't live that way.
Yeah, better learn how to get a Dos Equis.
I also think a lot of women want, and I hope that I don't get canceled for this, but I think a lot of women want their boyfriends to give them marriage stuff.
Well, that goes both ways.
What do you mean?
That goes both ways. That goes both ways.
Excuse me.
I think she's talking to like they want the boyfriends to pretty much like provide for them.
Yeah.
In a way. But then
if that's the case, then you gotta
again. But then like
position.
The flip side of that is that you have men out there that want wife treatment from girlfriends.
Very
so
true.
It's like I feel like in that dynamic, you should. almost like you should get an appetizer, like you should get a taste of it, but not the whole thing, right? Because from both sides, what's the incentive of going into marriage if I'm getting all the benefits of marriage outside of marriage?
That's true, but how do you set that boundary? What's that
You
limitation
got the
look
conversation.
like? Hey, I'll help you up until this extent.
Conversation.
Yeah.
But
it's
it is true. It's like but here's the thing. As a man, when you find a woman that you're into, you're going to naturally start doing those things for her that you would do as a husband naturally anyway.
I think that happens with women.
And
as well.
I think from the woman's side, you have to pick up on that. And then once pretty much you got to match the energy. Once you see that he's pouring into you, now you pour into him. And then that's how you guys build that shit together. But like, don't give access to things before it's earned. I don't want to say earned because I don't want to say like.
Nah, earned is the right word.
I want to feel like it's transactional. Well, I mean, shit, it is
transactional.
Yeah,
like
it is.
Like low key. Okay, so do you think that black men and black women are groomed against each other?
Yes,
I do too.
Kevin,
real bad. What do you think?
You'll say no?
No.
You don't think so?
Can you tell me why you think? I want to see if our thoughts align.
Why I think we're groomed against each other? And when you look at social media and the divide,
yeah, it's definitely
right?
divide.
There's a lot of clowns on social media.
That's why I don't go off. It's like the internet's
Right.
a tough place to gauge off of. Though.
Right.
Go to Baltimore. There's a lot of
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Like
that's
there's
what I'm
places
saying.
where it's like
For
you see it.
I would say for every
Go to Atlanta.
For every
Like
if you go off just the stats alone, right, about how black women are the least married or whatever, right? Those numbers are disparaging. But I know a large portion of black women who are married to black men. I know a lot of black men who are married to black women. And I know that some of the people who have decided to marry outside of their race is because they just happen to find the one that co-assign with them, and that's the way the universe works, and that's cool. You love who you love. Mm-hmm. But like that clip I had sent you the other day, like I do think that for you to come from something and then not like nothing that you come from, but then try to benefit off of what you come from, that's very foolish to me.
Yes.
And so I do think that this whole notion of pretty much a black men and black women trying to put standards on each other that are really hard for most of us to meet is part of the problem, right? And you can't surmise what a black man should look like, what a black woman should look like based off of other races and ethnicities, based off of our experience here in America, based off the fact that you can acknowledge that black people as a whole don't start at the same starting line as everybody else because they get help or they have different they have, let's just say what it is. When you look at Latin families, they have better support systems built in place for them than us. And as a black community, we need to do better at growing that. I do believe that. But oftentimes we as black people try to compare our own people to other races. And that's where the impasse comes at. We need to learn to accept us for who we are, but that does not discount black people ourselves from doing the work to be better for each other. That's the thing. You have to be better for each other. And a lot of shit, most of the shit that it gets glorified and highlighted is the goofy shit that they will try to stereotype us with or to stick to us when that's not the core. I know a bunch of black educated women who are strong, who are beautiful, who are still single, who are in their late 30s and 40s. I know I have friends that are doctors. I have friends that are therapists. I have friends that are CPAs. I went to college. I know these people. I talk to people regularly, and they're black women and they're and also black men, but they're not what you would they're not the stereotypical black that you would see being pushed on like social media or on the internet, or even like when it comes to like the entertainment world. Like they're not rappers, they're not singers, right? They're just normal everyday people who have made a conscious decision to better themselves. And it's hard. I feel like it's harder for them to find soulmates because they're operating on a different frequency. and I understand the lack of
That's more numbers to me.
it is a numbers game, but I understand the concern of dipping down to bring somebody up, because I'm not saying that wouldn't work, but if you dip down to bring somebody up and they don't have the right mindset, if they're not a go-getter mindset, then they can pull you down. So I do understand that as Black people, as we level up, as we evolve, and as we improve our status, as we improve our income, as we improve our overall being, it is harder to find other people of our race that are equally yoked as us. Sometimes it's not necessarily um sometimes you may find somebody, but it's a distance thing, or it's a compatibility thing. And then sometimes you have people who, especially, I'm gonna say this, especially Black men, you have Black men who level up and they see themselves as top tier or elite, and now they just exclude a certain type of woman because for forever, whatever their reasons are, right? And then as Black women, as they level up, because they're the most educated, it's kind of hard for them to find a man on their level financially, right? Because there's a lot of good Black dudes out here that are mechanics, that are barbers, that are plumbers, or whatever the case may be. But because his job title and his career doesn't necessarily align with what she sees her future, she will discount him. So I do feel like there's a lot of Black men that get led astray, and those are the, from my experience, those are the Black men that date the women that are accessible to them, and they end up going through the baby mama drama and all that other stuff. So it is a system wired, and again, like I say, it did kind of start with welfare, right?
Mhm.
Because my belief and my interpretation of this, and from what I've read and what I've heard and went through, is like I don't care what anybody says, the goal of welfare in the Black community per se was to remove the father.
Yeah, definitely.
And so if you can get the income, and I have to deal with the stress of having a man or being better for a man, who wouldn't sign up for that deal? But it's always like you think it's a good deal till you realize it's not.
Absolutely, because it definitely traps you there. You make $1 over, and you're off of welfare,
Yeah.
so you can't really elevate while you're on welfare. So yeah, you definitely have a good point, Kevin.
It's part of it, but I mean, that's the system. You got jail first, I think.
Yeah, that's part of the problem too.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's
think that
definitely a
was
big part of the problem.
Step one. That was what the whole jail system was for. It was to incarcerate Black men. But well, I mean, I don't have much to say. I told you I don't necessarily believe pitted. I think that's a thing that is driven by,
What if it's not pitted? What if it's just like a driven narrative instead?
and I think it's driven by self and ourselves. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm like, that's by ourselves then.
I agree that self has prolonged it, and that we have people that buy into it and they believe these things.
Yeah, I mean, just social economics, just when you look at people and certain things, because as you were talking about with people, and as you go, it's just, even take race out of it. When you go women and men, the higher women go in education.
Yeah, the harder it is to
the harder it is to find. The higher women go into certain, it's just the pool gets different. So it just gets, especially when you go into race. So now you're talking about women, if they're seeking to stick within the race, then the pool gets even smaller, like as they go up. So
and that's why I feel like I really feel like you shouldn't be out here looking for someone based off of.
But people do.
Based off of right. You shouldn't be looking for someone based off of what they make or what they do. You should be looking for someone based off of character, right? Because you can be a 6-figure woman and find yourself a 6-figure, 7-figure man, but you got to understand with a 7-figure man becomes the 7-figure set of problems, because you're not the only woman fighting for his attention. Yeah. And he's going to find many women out there that's willing to just be with him on the weekend and provide him what he wants in that situation. And so I feel like character really should be vibe and attraction is important, but character should be one of the most important and defining reasons why you align yourself or attach yourself to someone else.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And that's not to say that you have to take any man. You still need a man that's willing to try to at least elevate. I feel like for me, you don't have to have money, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be the provider. I don't mind 50-50. I don't mind paying more and you pay less. If I can pay the rent and the bigger bills and you can pay the smaller bills, I don't even care about that. But I just want to know that you're willing to at least try, and that as I'm growing, you're growing. As long as you're down with that, that's fine with me.
I think for me, it's like what I needed and what I got from my wife is that I understood that she was here for me. It wasn't for what I provided. It wasn't for what I gave. She really rocked with me. So to like what you were saying, there was a time like, of course, fresh out of high school, I wasn't paying for everything.
Right.
It was a lot of times it was 80-20 because she was working full time and I was going to school working part time. And she was making more than I was making, so she was paying rent, but I was paying bills. And then it got to the point to where where I made enough money, so I was paying rent, she was paying bills, and then now it's to the point to where I pay for everything. And but what motivated me, obviously, is like I always say that. I mean, when I listen to a lot of dudes talk, I just understand that nowadays that my mindset and the way I was built, I'm just different from everybody else. Because I feel like a lot of the shit that a lot of these people, so-called influencers or life coaches, whatever they say, I like they own some real one-sided bullshit they be talking. And I just feel like I understood, like, because of the example I was given raising up of what a man is and what a man should be and how a man should provide, with me trying to model that, I never had the mindset of being with anybody or doing anything outside of the person who I had determined who is my person. Because I think what people don't understand is when it comes to relationship and love, you have to make a decision. Love is an emotion. Emotions always change. You're not always going to be in love. But when you're not in love with that person in the moment, it's the decision and it's your determination that holds you steadfast in your decision to keep your morals intact and to stand on your word. I can honestly say that I'm pretty sure it goes both ways for me and my wife. Through the 23 years we've been together, we have not always liked each other. There's been times where we probably really didn't like each other, but we stood by the decision that it's us against the world. And so that, and just because I'm mad at her on Tuesday or she pissed me off on Wednesday and I'm not feeling her attitude or whatever the case, that doesn't stop me from my responsibilities that I have promised to do to her. And I feel like today, what's being portrayed, this whole, the second you're unhappy, leave. If that's the, and then if that's the mindset, you're never going to be happy because there's always going to be parts in relationships that you don't align and that you have to do the work to get back into realignment through the communication. You're never going to be 100% on the page all the time because you are two different people from two different upbringings trying to figure out life together. So you can't just sit here and expect everything to be a fairy tale and everything just to click the first time over and just everything just be smooth. That's not life. There's always going to be rocky roads. There's always going to be good times and bad times. And um, it's like Dr. Bryant said. She said a lot of shit I don't agree with, but I did agree with this. She said the only thing to make sure that your marriage will last is just to not leave.
Okay, but what's the limitation?
Okay, well,
like, there has to be.
There is limitations of shit, and and there is limitations, and those limitations are limitations that you put when you've done. I'm not saying stay there and just be abused and just be like taken advantage of, right? What I'm saying is when someone has done something so egregious that you can't come back from it, like Kevin was talking about the previous episode, when it's something that you just know you can't come back from, that's when you got to cut ties. But if it's something that can be solved with a conversation, and because a lot of times what I'm feeling is what you're feeling, we're just saying it differently. And now we not on the same page because I'm in my feelings, you in your feelings. So you don't care what I got to say. I don't give a damn what you got to say because I'm not being heard. So that's why a lot of times I say, like, you really have to be successful in anything, especially when it comes to healing and especially when it comes to being intentional with yourself or your partner. You have to be able to step outside yourself. Because what makes being a good partner is doing the things that you should do, whether you want to do them or not. because you still have to show up for that person because you made a commitment to that person. That's what I say. I ain't saying shit else.
I don't know what the question was. I forgot.
Me too, but he gave me every answer I needed. I feel like I might need to Apple Pay you for the therapy session.
That's $200.
We have it right now. I don't remember which question.
Oh Lord.
And I thought because I had the phone in my hand,
That's
we
funny.
were gonna get past
That's
this
funny as
part.
fuck.
This part of the
We were talking about the pitting against each other.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about, then you mentioned the 50-50 part.
That was it. I think that was just going
Yeah.
with.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just
I
went
was,
in
I
there.
was responding to what you were saying.
Okay. I was like, I don't know if she asked. I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there was recently a celebrity on a podcast. He mentioned that he does not date black women. He's a black man. That he just refuses to date black women. Did you guys watch the clip?
Yeah,
I
I
started
watched
to,
it.
and then I think I was summoned.
Okay.
Summoned? You was summoned?
It's often said that black women are not nurturing and that we don't provide.
That's just people making cop outs to shit that their experiences, and
Okay.
they don't fucking. Because I don't base my experiences and make them a whole. I've learned that. And I've noticed a lot of people will take their experiences and make that as the whole. And like, we forget there is a lot of us. There's like
Yeah.
a lot of people and a lot of different people. So like that's just buffoon shit. Like that's some buffoonery
Yeah.
shit to say.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's all it's like, shut the fuck up. Like your mom didn't love you, nigga. Like, shut up.
My first reaction to that is I always ask, did you provide her with a safe place to be nurturing?
God.
Or did she have to constantly be on guard?
Hello.
Because how is someone who is constantly watching their back is in fear of what's going to happen can't be nurturing because they're in survival mode. So was she trying to survive or was she trying to be nurturing?
There's that.
So what environment
were they-
environment are you creating around her to
Or
nurture
was it
you?
even like was it real? Were
Yeah.
you guys just fucking around and you
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this out of like, bitch,
Yeah.
like, you guys weren't serious.
But that goes back to what I was saying earlier, how motherfuckers expect things to just be given to them at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you haven't created any type of safe
No
space,
trust,
any
no
type
nothing.
of nothing. You haven't laid down any foundation, but you want her to walk in here with a house.
Yeah.
Like that's dumb. That's some dumb shit.
Well, it almost seems like a nigga who took you out to eat and shit, and you're like, well, now you ain't washing my drawers. Like,
No.
nigga, you pay for Applebee's once. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
Well, if you take an Applebee's, if you get a text back, you should be happy.
Oh, you ain't lying.
But if I take you down and get some lobster, I'm getting some ass.
hey,
Oh my God.
hey, don't you dare sit here and shit on Applebee's.
Applebee's is trash.
Applebee's is terrible.
Trash.
It doesn't matter.
Trash.
Who cares?
What do you eat out of there?
It's food.
Ah, it's terrible.
So what are you supposed to do? So that's what he could afford, and he's trying to be nice. So you eat shit.
I'd rather just cook. I'll cook for you because I don't
But
like
that's not true.
Applebee's.
Probably
If you
tastes
barely
better.
met this nigga and he's trying to be a gesture,
Yeah.
then don't judge the
Yeah.
nigga. That's where the problem is. Don't judge the nigga for trying to do something.
I'm not.
kind.
I didn't say judge him. I just said you ain't getting no ass
Yeah, that's fine.
Off-
You,
off
you
Applebee's.
shouldn't be getting ass.
off Applebee's.
Well, if you get enough Bahama Mamas. But like, I think that where the problem comes in too is like the expectations are fucked up.
yeah.
Like we have fucked up expectations. It's like that's not real life.
Well, I don't mean it like how the lady said, "Oh, you can't take me to the Cheesecake Factory. I'm not getting
You
out the
just
car."
don't like
shit.
Applebee's.
I just
That's
don't
fine,
like
okay, but
Applebee's.
like that's where I'm saying. 'Cause
Yeah.
some of you like they'll be like, you know what, you taking me here? It's like,
And for the record, Cheesecake Factory is fucking fire.
For the record, the bitch that said it wasn't even that goddamn cute. Bitch, what the fuck? When I seen her ass, I said, bitch, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Bitch, you are not even bad as you think you are. Eat that fucking damn Cheesecake Factory. Shut the fuck up. The man was so nice and so nurturing to her. And so, and you just go dog him in. And then you thought it was funny to tape it. And now we all clowning you.
yeah. You know what's funny is like when you were, I think a lot of our problem is we don't look at us as individuals, and that's
We
the
don't.
shitty part.
We don't. But that's what I'm
You
saying.
are right.
But
that's
that's
the shitty part.
But that's what I was saying about you have to take into account the person's upbringing and what they were taught.
Well, they
That's
won't even let each other get to that.
That's the coonery. That's the fool part about it.
Yeah.
Like you can't meet every woman or every man and think that they had the same experience as the
Yeah.
last one you met.
Like, why you talk like that?
Touche.
Why you
I
do
didn't
this?
I
Why you
never
do that?
even thought of that. I never. You are right though.
I mean, even it doesn't even matter.
I
Like
see
you
niggas
can
be
you
like,
can you
"This is
can date
crazy."
you can date 10 black men in a row and they can have 10 different upbringings. Now, will there be similarities in the upbringing? Yes, but there will be oddities in there that will set them different from each other. The same thing with Hispanic men. Same thing with white men. It's like there's going to be differences in there because everyone's going to have little minute changes in their upbringing that. Even though it's a small change from the other person, it's going to turn into a big shift in how they see themselves and how they act as they get older. So you can't just assume that all. That's the thing.
I'm
Because-
just laughing.
I know.
He was talking about he like American black, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think these girls want to be. They want to live that African life.
yeah, right. No, right.
Walk behind me, bitch. So
To me, that when that. To
Yo, I
me,
tried to hold that laugh, and that nigga said, "Walk behind me, bitch."
I don't even like that notion of walk behind me. I don't like. I walk behind my wife.
Do you?
I either
yeah, I
walk,
try to see.
I either walk right next to her or I walk behind
Not
her.
her ass. I'm saying like
No,
what's in front of her, like what's coming around.
because, and this is why. Because this is just how I see it. I may be wrong. If I walk behind her, if someone comes up from behind, I'm the first one getting hit. So I'm shielding her back.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm looking ahead of her because women don't pay attention to shit when they with a man. So now I can look ahead of her and on her side. So I now have her covered 360 degrees
Full
if I
range.
walk behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And I get close to her when I need to, and I back up when I need to. But she's always in my line of sight.
Yeah.
I don't have to be right next to her to be protecting her. Now, there's times where she may want me to be next to her because she want to hold hands or she want to, that's cool, right? But the protector in me is like, no, let her be 2 or 3 steps ahead of me. And then sometimes when I know we somewhere in place, I'm like, hurry up, let's go. And I'll be like, let's go. And I just take off on her ass.
Damn.
She be walking.
You went from I be watching her to be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, let's go. Ain't nobody over here. Ain't nobody over
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That shit had me in my
Nah, you
head. I
good.
was just like,
No,
well,
you good.
you know.
But the dude in the clip, I said, this nigga sound like a nigga that he finally came into a little bit of money and thought he was a bit bigger than what he was.
That's what I said too.
And because you had your 15 seconds, it elevated you for 15 seconds somewhere else, and you tried to make it.
That's the same notion I had about that as well. But I also kind of feel like just kind of seeing how some of my other cultured friends were raised. I was raised to get up, work. You don't need a nigga for shit. You got this. You don't need anybody. So I didn't learn to be nurturing.
A lot of black women were.
Yeah. So I didn't learn to be nurturing until I started to grow. And
Let me ask you this: were you raised by your mom?
yeah, just my mom.
Just your mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Yeah, I know.
Because your mom had to get up every day and get it.
I 100% know that.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, like that's the conversation I had to have with my wife, because she again was raised by a single mom. I was raised in a 2-parent household, right? So I had to tell her like, hey, you acting like your mama. This ain't that situation. Calm down. Like it is learn. It's a different experience coming from, because I'm coming from a dynamic to where my grandmother had help, right? So it was 2. It wasn't like she doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so my grandmother played a very traditional role. Now, mind you, they was black and uneducated in the 40s and 50s, so they both had to work to make it. But my grandfather worked 2 jobs, whatever, and my grandmother worked 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it still was like they both carried their share, but financially he did a little bit more. And then where he picked up financially, she picked up in the home, right? Because my grandfather cooked, he cleaned, he did all that, right? So that's the example that I was seeing. But when you then marrying my wife, and she coming from a situation to where her mom held it down and she took care of everything. So my wife, as I told you, like she was very career driven. Like she had her goals, she had her markers she wanted to hit, and that's what she was focusing on. So this being a mother, wife, and just like kind of nurture role, it was something for her. I feel that she had to get accustomed to. Now she done fell all the way into it. She in there. she in there now because she don't like setting no alarms.
I heard that.
She in there now.
That honestly has been a big issue in me and John's relationship as well, because he does come from a 2-parent household and I came from a single mom. So if you don't do it fast enough for me, I'm going to fucking do it myself, and then I'm gonna be mad because I had to do it myself. No, I have to.
You don't,
because I'd be scared if I don't do it.
That's a lack of trust, and you gotta let that be. You gotta let it be. I've had those arguments where it's like, hey, cool, it's not on your time, and it goes both ways. Where it's like, just give me the fucking chance to do it. Don't, it's just because it wasn't on the time you wanted it. Give me the chance. Like you gotta, but that's a cultural difference,
and that is something
not cultural with it, but like you were saying with the
that's for me personally, my experience, that's any woman, regardless of race, that comes from a single.
No, I mean I think so. I mean, but to your point, it's because we watched our moms. My mom handles shit way better by herself than I think she does in relationships, because my mom can. I never see her fall when she's by herself.
Because here's the thing, your mom. Here's the harsh, sad reality, right? Your mom is probably more used to and more comfortable with being by herself. Yeah. And so, when you're by yourself, you can. It's easy to protect yourself from yourself because you're not going to intentionally do anything to harm you.
You don't have to compromise.
You're not compromising, right? Like Kevin said, right? But when you're doing it with two people, now you got to compromise because hey, you may like be taking out the trash first thing in the morning. I'm like, well, watch, I'll take it out when I come back. It's gonna be taken out. But see, from the dynamic where my wife come from, no, we need to go out right now. No, it don't. It's just I'm gonna take care of it. See, and that's the thing. And like I always and this is a real problem that we have. I tell my wife, I said, you see something and you say, hey, I need you to do this, and you want it done this right then, right? And you tell me what you need, and it's not that I'm being dismissive, but while you're telling me what you need, I still had a list of things that I was trying to do. So now what my man brain does is go, okay, this is what she needs. It's not necessarily a priority right now. So this is gonna go and slide into number 3 spot. Let me take care of this first, then I'll get back to this. That's how most men think. We are not multitaskers. We kind of like knock it off one at a time. But what I noticed with my wife, if she asks me for something, she wants that to be at the top of the list. Unless she says when you get a chance. Even though I know sometimes when you get a chance means nigga do it right now.
In the next 5 minutes or so.
Yes. Yes. So, but that is something that like that was a rift between us. Because it's like I understand this is something you want me to do. This is a need for you, but it's not necessarily as important as you think. Because as individually, we all think what we want or need to get done is important in that moment. While I'm not saying it's not important, it's just not always the most important thing at that time. It doesn't mean that it's not going to get done. It just doesn't mean that it's not the time to get it done.
Oh, sometimes it don't be important though.
I know. I know. Oh, I know.
Sorry, babe.
Well,
you ain't got to apologize. That's real life.
Well, I asked you one question and you didn't answer every question on the damn list.
Well, talk to Kevin then.
No, we didn't.
No, I think we
didn't answer everything on the list.
Yes, we did.
Nigga, please.
I think the only other 2 questions were what are the male role and what is the female. He answered it.
What?
All of that shit. The only 2 questions that were left were what are the male roles and what are the female roles in your opinion in relationships.
That depends on the relationship.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I don't think there are any specific.
You gotta do what works for you. You can't. Yeah. That's the thing. Stop.
Well, the loaded part too is like as I was thinking. That's why I said that is the traditional. Because it's like you said, which traditional are you talking about? Because there's no real traditional. That's the shit that I get lost in because I'm like, okay, so what are you talking?
Yeah.
Okay, so black people. We want to talk about traditional black. Is that from what era of life are we talking? Are we talking
what?
Damn,
Yeah.
what
true.
demographic?
Yeah.
Where are we talking? Are we talking about how we say the African men? Or
Yeah.
it's a little different. It's a lot of different. Then are we talking about American? Are we talking about Southern? Like,
Yeah. Because you can go back as far as like, are we talking traditional before women could vote and own property
like it can
and get
tricky.
bank accounts? Like
It could get tricky.
because back then y'all didn't have a choice. This
Yeah.
is why Grandpa had a family on the other side of town. Because where you gonna go? You couldn't get nothing in your name.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Yeah.
That's the America that they're
You
trying
coulda-
to make
You
great
try to
again.
run away, another nigga will bring you back home. Like, think your wife
Hey,
got away.
Clifford. hey, Clifford, your wife over here.
That's shitty
Yeah.
though. But so it's
It's a conversation, and it has to
in the
work,
house. Yeah.
and it has to work for your dynamic, and that's also a conversation that will change.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, the cool part is it changes.
It changes.
It does change because we had shit in our head where we was gonna be around. Then she was like, you know, I kind of like this, and I'm like,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. Well, then let's roll with this. And if it changes the word, we don't, then we'll figure it out from there. But just be happy. Let's be happy. Not
My thing is, I'm not going to say, I will go along with anything my wife does as long as I see it's not stressing her out. Once I see that she's being stressed or she's overwhelmed, then that's when that's when I step in. Like, I think you should stop doing this.
I'll ask her.
No.
I'll ask her.
No.
For some things you get stressed. There's some stresses.
That's a trauma response for me for other reasons.
I got you. No, that's different. Yes. I was going to say some stresses, though. It depends on what it is for me. Because I'm like, some stresses are worth it if you have a goal in mind.
Because
if it's just stress where you're like, you know, this is just unwarranted stress for no fucking reason. Because there's nothing coming out of this.
Because there's been days where I've literally like just took her phone. Like, no, you ain't talking to nobody today. Because they stressing you out. So when they call, I'll answer. Yeah, she busy. She in the shower. She taking a shit.
No.
She'll call you back later. Knowing damn well I got the phone. She ain't calling you back. Because she can watch YouTube and TikTok on her iPad.
She get too many calls.
Ah, this nigga said I'm not going to play secretary.
Put it on silent.
Nah, it's like the same 3 people.
Oh. Well, I mean, yeah. But I think to me that's part of being a provider. Like I always say, provider is not just financial. I have to take care of her in all forms and fashion. Her well-being is my responsibility. That's not just money. That's not just money. I got to make sure her heart is right. So that way, when the balcony is there, she ready.
Well, you know, I be right with you.
She ready.
I be right there with you.
She ready.
And then you hit that damn balcony.
But that's part of it.
This has been an episode. Another episode. I'm not doing this no more. We're done.
You know what? Do you want like a traditional role?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, don't ask me.
Yeah.
Well,
We're not asking me. I don't know.
okay.
Honestly, for real, I don't know. Honestly, I think it.
Like you seem like mad intrigued by that role, but then I'm like, I don't know. Let me sit in there. She's like, what'd you say?
Let me ask you this, Des.
Oh shit.
Let me ask you this, Des. Do you think that you'd be willing to give up that part of yourself?
Fuck.
See?
Because to be a stay-at-home wife, to be like there is a part of the ambition that you're giving up because now you're putting somebody else's priorities above yours.
I was married before I was married to John. I was a stay-at-home parent to that person's child. I hated it.
But then again, that was that person's child.
So that may be like that may be the issue. But I hated being home. I like my individuality. I like
You like adult conversation?
I love adult conversation. I like to be able to. I don't like to ask people for shit.
Yeah.
I don't like to be like, hey, I need X,
But see
Y,
here,
and Z.
but see that's the mindset that you gotta think of. See, my wife don't ask me for shit.
Yeah, I was like, you don't have
That's it's her money.
So
She just asked. She asked if it's enough
that's
to
a
cover it.
controlling thing. Yeah.
I can't tell you if I would be willing to give those parts away because I've never met anybody that has given me the
space
to be able to do that. So I don't know if I'd like that or not because I've always been in relationships where I had to be the provider. I'm the nigga. I'm this nigga's husband. I'm these niggas' husbands. I'm out here. I'm daddy. I mean,
because this is what I do. Like every Friday, I pay bills, and I go in and say, hey, "This is what we got left. Do what you want."
I'd probably panic.
No, the bills are paid.
I probably wouldn't know what to do though
The
because
bills are the bills are paid.
But I've
So
never
the
seen
bills are
that
already
in my
accounted-
life.
The bills are already accounted for. This is what we have left.
You better than, I do it opposite because I don't want to look at it. I'm like, just tell me what's left.
So it's like, but what, and I started doing that so that way there's no confusion about where the money is or where the money's going. Hey, after I paid everything, this is what we had. This is what we have until I get paid again. So what we do with this, think about it. Choose wisely because some weeks you got more left over than others.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we got.
Sometimes you base it wrong.
Yeah.
I think I would like to have that type of mental relief because I am everything.
Mhm.
It has been on me. So to have just a break where somebody else is the one doing the thinking about those type of things, I might be a nicer bitch. I don't know.
Like yesterday, like yesterday, I pulled up to the bank. She's like, "Why are you at the bank?" I said, "I gotta get the money for gymnastics." She said, "Oh, I forgot all about that."
Yeah, I would probably
Cash.
like
It's cash only. It's cash only. Yeah, you gotta go get cash. It's cash only. Can't tap.
That's funny. Like they don't play.
And then
Yeah.
then they give you a paper receipt.
Oh
That's
hell.
dope.
Yeah.
I lose that. Lose that quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think it's just I've not seen it, so I can't guarantee you I'd like it. I do like the fact that I am independent enough to be able to take care of myself, so I think it's a blessing. But I think it would be great to have somebody take some of the load, not all of it. I don't really need anybody to pay all of my bills, but
It's nice.
I would like that.
I would like
some
it.
of those.
It sounds
Like
great.
would get like a man raise and just go, hey, guess what?
But I'm still operating in a space where I'm still
Sweats.
thinking that this is not possible because I'm not. It doesn't happen in my house, so I'm still in my mind. I'm still like, is this shit even fucking possible?
No, you can't do that.
So
You're
I don't
blocking
know.
a part of the universe out.
Yeah. You manifest what you talk.
Literally
what you speak
blocking
into
a part of the
existence.
universe out.
You gotta manifest it.
And you believe like that too.
I do. Okay,
You believe like that.
I do.
You gotta manifest
So
it.
why block it? What did we say last time? The
I
universe
can't
will get
manifest
out of
it
your
with
way
a
if you
different
don't.
nigga. It has to be this nigga.
No, it don't have to be. You just
No, but see that here's the thing.
you don't picture nobody.
Exactly. When you manifest it, you don't manifest it with
I know how to manifest. I got it.
Excuse me.
I got it. I still have some womb healing to do.
I'm really trying to be nice to Des.
You know what? You've been very nice to me lately.
I've been
And
trying.
you've been great. And I was going to commend you on that because you've been very easy to talk to. And I really appreciate that. So thank you.
Kevin, you're not on the. Normally I look at you because you're on this side. I've been just. So I don't. But now I gotta look across the table and I still see her.
No, you gotta look at her, dog. That's
the problem.
No,
homie.
I know that my thoughts become my things, and I definitely have been. I stay in the frequency of what is happening because I literally be in here like, I mean, these niggas is husbands. I'm the husband in this bitch. I don't fuck this.
My only response to that is that you dwell in the situation you created.
Yeah, I definitely created this shit. You ain't lying. My sister has a tattoo. Your favorite has a tattoo that says you live with the scars that you choose. And I tell you, the more I go along, the more I'm like, damn, I think that nigga right. But yeah,
My girl Dom, she be speaking facts.
Yeah,
we gotta get her up here.
She be spitting. I love my baby.
We gotta get her up here, but she gotta talk how she done on the bus though.
She has a fucking list. That's their natural fucking way of talking. But it's not as bad as it was when she was little.
No, she got to make it worse.
Ain't nobody doing that.
I'll pay her to sit here and talk like that.
And she might do that shit. she might do that shit if you push. Why would we talking? Because she might do that shit. I don't know. When she see this episode, don't be surprised if she get out of the comments like, nigga, how much we talking? Because I might.
I'll be over here crying. If she did that shit, I'll be crying.
Put some on it.
Cause that's a nigga that need a speech therapist himself. We can both come here and just start fucking up words and have a good old time.
I've had it. We are done for the day. This has been another episode of the Heavyweight Podcast. Oh God, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share.
All that shit.
And until next time, peace.
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 Ooh, I'm sweating. That's a wrap, y'all. That's how she wrote. So make sure you click like, subscribe. Tune in. We on all streaming platforms. So until next time, we'll holla at you.